श्री गुरु चरणा पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा। श्री गुरु चरणा पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा। वंदो मुई सावधान माते वंदो मुई सावधान माते जहर प्रसादे वाय ए भव तोरिया जाय। जहर प्रसादे वाय ए भव तोरिया जाय। कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो जाहा होइते कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो जाहा होइते गुरु मुख पद्मा वाक्य चित्ते कोरिया ऐक्य। गुरु मुख पद्मा वाक्य चित्ते कोरिया ऐक्य। आरना करी हो मने आशा आरना करी हो मने आशा। श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति। श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति। जे प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा जे प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा। चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेद गाय जो हर चरित वेद गाय जहर चरित श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधमा जनार बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधमा जनार बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेरा जीवाना लोकनाथ लोकेरा जीवाना हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद छाया हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद छाया हे बेजास को शुक्र भुवाना हे बेजास को शुक्र भुवाना शीला प्रभुपाद पतित पावना जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivajakacharya Astotarshata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanar Vrind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड श्री गिरि गोवर्धन की, श्री वृंदावन धाम की, श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगा माई की, जमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी महारानी की, कलयुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, बृहत मृदंग ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, ट्रांसेंडेंटल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories.
The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet, your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Jai.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So welcome to our Sunday Feast program on this very cold day. It's getting colder, no? No, it's not getting colder? I'm freezing. So today we'll be starting off with a verse from the Gita, 2.58, and then we'll go on to our other topics for the day. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so this is a little bit of a hard one, but we'll go through it. Yada samharate chayam yada samharate chayam kurmo nganiva sarvasaha kurmo nganiva sarvasaha Indriyani Driyar Tebyas Indriyani Indriyar Tebyas Tasya Pragna Pratishta Tasya Pragna Pratishta Yada samharate chayam kurmo ganiva sarvatsaha indriyanindriya tebyas tasya pragna pratishtaha Yada samharate chayam kurmo ganiva sarvasaha indriyandriya tebyas tasya pragna pratishta. Does anybody want to try? Yada samharate chayam kurmo ganiva sarvashaha indriyani indriyatebyas tasya pragna pratishita. One. Well done. Thank you so much for that. Etayam Indriyanindriyatebyas tasya prajna pratishtata. Okay, we'll go into the word to word now. Yada, when, samharate, winds up, winds up, sorry. Cha, also, ayam, he, kurmaha, tortoise, angani, limbs, iva, like, sarvashaha, altogether, indriyani, senses, indriya artabhya, from the sense objects, tasya, his, prajna, consciousness, pratishita, fixed. Translation: one who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects as the tortoise draws its limbs from its shell is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. Please repeat after me. One who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects as the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The test of a yogi, devotee or self-realized soul is that he is able to control the senses according to his plan. Most people, however, are servants of the senses and are thus directed by the dictation of the senses. That is the answer to the question as to how the yogi is situated. The senses are compared to venomous serpents. They want to act very loosely and without restriction. The yogi, or the devotee, must be very strong to control the serpents, like a snake charmer. He never allows them to act independently. There are many injunctions in the revealed scriptures. Some of them are do nots and some of them are do's. Unless one is able to follow the do's and the do nots, restricting oneself from sense enjoyment, it is not possible to be firmly fixed in Krishna consciousness. The best example set herein is the tortoise. The tortoise can at any moment wind up his senses and exhibit them again at any time for particular purposes. Similarly, the senses of the Krishna-conscious persons are used only for some particular purpose in the service of the Lord, and are withdrawn otherwise. Arjuna is being taught here to use his senses for the service of the Lord, instead for his own satisfaction. Keeping the senses always in the service of the Lord is the example set by the analogy of the tortoise, who keeps the senses within. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Khadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vande Vanchakalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhupyaivacha Patitatnam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. So, let me get my notes up. Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna. So, actually, if we can come a little bit closer, just because I feel more comfortable. So 2 weeks ago we were speaking, last time I was here, I remember we were speaking about attachment and detachment. Does anybody remember some of the points from that class? Attachment and detachment. Should a devotee be attached? No. Yes? Attached to Krishna. Should a devotee be detached? Yes. From what? The senses. Yes. So, 2 weeks ago we spoke about the verse there's just two before this. And in there, Prabhupada makes an amazing point that a devotee, they're neither attached or detached. At the same time, they're both. There's a little bit of a gray area between them too. Is that we should be attached, but to Krishna. We should not be attached to everything that we have. At the same time, most people think that someone who is a yogi, or who's practicing all these like yogic powers and all these kinds of Vedic practices, that they're detached from the world. When you think of someone that is saintly, you think of someone who's in the forest, by themselves, meditating, on their ones, by themselves, not being disturbed by anything. They've given up everything, family, life, money, everything. But that is not what the actual definition of someone who is advanced. You can have many things. You can have many things, but a devotee does not use them for themselves. They use them for Krishna, just like your point. So you can have many things. Just like we were speaking that Srila Prabhupada, his guru, Bhaktisiddhanta, when he was forming his organization, the Gaudiya Math, there was a lot of backlash that he got because he was a sannyasi, a renounced person, but he was traveling by car. And back then, that was seen as a very low thing to do. So how can you travel by car? You should be traveling by foot. You should be a simple person. You should not own anything. But if we have something that's practical to be used for Krishna, then why not use it? Why hinder that? Right? So, Prabhupada makes that amazing point. So a spiritual person is never attached or detached. And because of that, from the two verses before, Prabhupada said that is the person who has a steady mind. Because there's less distractions. Everything is used purposefully, with the right purpose. So in this verse, it's similar point. So in this, Krishna is telling Arjuna, or remind us of the verse, one who is able to withdraw his senses from the sense objects, as the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell, is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. Our aim, everyone here knows, what does ISKCON stand for? International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So everyone here, what we're trying to do with this society is make everyone Krishna conscious. Conscious of Krishna. And the only way we can be conscious of something is from what? Thinking. What do we use for our consciousness? Our mind. So therefore there should be a heavy emphasis on, I'm not going to say mind control because that's used in movies for like a negative thing. But we have to gain control of the mind. We have to repurpose, regain the kind of reins of the mind. So, in this Krishna is saying that a Krishna conscious person, a person with steady mind, that person can be Krishna conscious. You have to have a steady mind to be Krishna conscious. Because for all of us, how many excuses we must have to be practicing bhakti, It's so easy to make an excuse, I can't come to the temple today, the game's on, Or maybe I've got some work, I'm working, or my family's not letting me, there's so many family responsibilities. I don't have time for bhakti. There's so many things. Or even a lot of people, especially in India, they'll say, a bhakti, devotional life, it's for older people, First get a job, first marry, get a family. Then when you've done everything, then focus on bhakti. That's an excuse, right? That's an excuse. So there's so many excuses that we can use. But at the end of all these excuses, the main thing that is stopping us is what? What's making us use the excuses? The mind. The mind is such a in Vedic scriptures, often the mind is described with the word chanchala. Chanchala means always moving. Chanchal. So it's always moving. It's all going from one branch to the other. Have you ever observed your mind, how fast it can react? It can just make you do something like that, Or you can just change your mood like this. Or your opinion about someone can change just like this, Assumptions, opinions, so many things. So this is the mind. The mind is like that. And you can have so many excuses, and that because of that you can have so many excuses for starting your life in bhakti, in spirituality. It doesn't matter what stage of life you're at. When we used to serve in Manchester, I was helping with the youth organization, Pandavasena. And because of that, we were kind of giving bhakti to youth, like teenagers. And we were really trying to get them fired up, But one of the biggest obstacles we found was the parents would say, not for them now, Let them focus on their exams first. I had one friend, Sundar Chaitanya. He's a great devotee. He's so knowledgeable in all the scriptures. But he went to Cambridge University at the same time. So he was a good devotee, at the same time materially very successful. He went to Cambridge University to study economics. And because of that, there was a kind of all the parents wanted their kids to go to Cambridge as well. So there was a lot of pressures for that. So because of that, they were stopping them, say, don't go to this program, don't go to this program. You're not allowed to go because you should study for exams. At the same time, Sundar Chaitanya, what he did is he did both. So the problem, what I'm trying to say is that there can be so many excuses at any point of our life. And the mind creates that. And because of that, we don't value what bhakti is. There's that story. Has everyone heard the story of there's a story of this king had a really special jewel in his treasury. And it was one of the most expensive jewels of the kingdom. Probably if you put it in pounds, it'd be millions and millions of pounds in value. And he was very proud that he had this jewel with him. He said, I'm a very powerful king, very rich. I've got this jewel. And one time a saint came to his kingdom and noticed he was very proud of this jewel. So then he asked the king, do you know the value of this jewel? He said, yes, it's millions and millions and millions of worth of gold, millions of tons of gold worth, this jewel. It's like a big rock of jewel. He said, really? Let's get everyone else's opinion about it. And they took the jewel, and with this saint, they went to the local villages within the kingdom. And so they started approaching different people. And they saw some women washing their clothes in the river. So then they went up to these women, very simple villagers. They gave them this jewel. And the saint said, I'm giving you this. Use it for what you think it's used for. And these women, they never saw a jewel in their entire life. They didn't even know what a jewel was. So they didn't know what it was. It was this huge lump of some shiny material. So what they started doing with it is they started washing their clothes with it, beating their clothes with it. And the king was like, no, don't do that. It's a very priceless thing. It's like, why is it so priceless? So they said, okay, I understand. It's not so valuable here. What's the value? Then they went to the next place in the village and they saw some kids playing. So then they said, here's a jewel, use it for what you think it's worth. And the kids never saw a jewel either, and it was this like the size of a ball. So what they started is, they started playing catch with it. And then eventually the king noticed that, to know the value of something, you need to know about it. So we can have so many excuses for Krishna consciousness, for bhakti. But once we understand the value of bhakti, then we utilize it in the right way. Huh? Does that make sense so far? Yes? Yeah, no? Yes? If it doesn't make sense, just say. We'll go through it. So basically what the point is that the mind, we have to gain control of the mind. There are so many interruptions. If you looked in the last 500, maybe 1,000 years, there are so many fights, protests, and wars going on in the world purely because people want freedom, right? Recently in COVID, around COVID, there was the Black Lives Matter. Now there's lots of protests for different wars going around in the world, for people's freedom, that there's wars happening in their country, and they want freedom. They don't want this to happen to them. Or if you want to look economically, politically, so many protests are there. Train drivers are going on strike, train workers, because they don't have enough freedom, because you're not giving us the right pay. We should choose how much we should be able to be paid. People want freedom. But at the end of all of these, are people going to be free? Because they still have the mind. The mind is controlling everybody. So how are you going to be free? People give in to their desires so much. You might, someone that has an addiction, for example, if you look on like smoking packages, like cigarettes, every single one says smoking kills, smoking kills. So logically, what a person would do is read it and say, smoking kills, I shouldn't do that. But because it's an addiction, the mind is telling you that, no, I should do it, I should do it. Even something that's illogical, they'll do it. So are you free? No, the mind is keeping us all captive. So what Krishna is saying here is that a Krishna conscious person, he is able to control the mind. Once you're able to control the mind, then we can use the mind in Krishna's service. So, how do we think we should do this? How can you control the mind? Any ideas? We'll keep it interactive since there's not much of us here. Any idea how to get free from the mind? Nobody knows? Should we just accept the mind is controlling us and go on with our lives? That's very vague. What's spirituality? Yeah. We need to know what the mind is. Any other answers? Any ideas? Guesses? Theories? Come on. Mantra meditation. Okay, I'll go through the answer that I had. As we spoke about detachment and attachment before, a common theory is that in order to control our mind, we need to be detached from everything. Therefore, whatever senses we have, we should reject everything. If there's something tasty, we should reject it, because the mind will use that to capture us. If there's something nice, we should reject it. If there's a nice movie going on, we should reject it. Is a full philosophy is rejecting the world. But that's actually not what we're teaching. If you actually look into the scriptures, our philosophy teaches us that it is not rejection. Rather, it is substitution. Does that make sense? If you're rejecting something so much, it won't work in the long term. How long can you be on a diet? Never. Okay, has anybody here gone on a diet before? Put your hand up. Okay. How long were those diets? Did they go for? A day. How long? Couple of hours. Oh my God. Anybody? Any other answers? 1 week? New Year's resolution. How long do they last for? Monday to Monday. Yeah. So what a diet really is you're rejecting everything, right? You see a bunch of nice things, but no, I shouldn't look at it. I should reject it. But eventually we're going to give in. The mind is that strong. The mind is such a powerful thing that you cannot make it reject everything. So rather, what our philosophy is, it should be substituted. That is why we have that gray area between attachment and detachment. Have everything, do everything, but do it with a twist. Do it for Krishna. You know, when we come to the temple and we say, okay, you come here, become Krishna conscious, we don't say give up everything in your life. You know, well, some of them. But if you go to an ashram, if you want to become a brahmachari or a monk, then you do have to stay in an ashram. But at the same time, you don't really give up everything. Food. Who here likes food? Like food? What do? Do we reject food? No. If anything, we have more of it. But what do? We have it in a way that it's spiritualized. It's offered to Krishna. And therefore, it becomes sanctified, it becomes holy, it becomes good for you. It's vegetarian, but it's tasty still. Music. Do we reject music? No. What do we have? Kirtan. We have kirtan festivals all over the world going around pretty much throughout the year. And there's like, I know devotees that have like playlists and playlists and playlists on SoundCloud, Spotify, just kirtan. And it's spiritual. Association, friends, do you give them up? No. Do you give up your family? No. Do you give up anything? Not really. You just, do you? What do you give up? You can give up control of. Yeah. 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 Just surrender. Give it to Krishna. Even work. You know, how many of us are working? 9 to 5. You know, so many things. Even that can be used in Krishna service. And what's that called? Service. Any work. Every single thing, you name it, if you just use it for Krishna, then it becomes something that's good for you. You don't give up anything. So, the point that is in this, that Prabhupada said, is that, see, the mind has its weapons as well. If you think of it, just think of it like a person. The mind has its weapons as well to use against you. Your senses. If you smell something nice that you think you shouldn't have, the mind will use that as a weapon for you to get engrossed into it, no? If you hear something, you might think something that's wrong, you know? You might misinterpret something, you might see something. So the mind uses your senses to kind of capture you. But if we have control on what our senses are being fed, then we have control over the mind. Does that make sense? No? If I'm feeding my mind really bad food, my mind will use that against me, no? I'll get addicted to it somehow. But if I give my mind prashadam, which is good food, then, and it's tasty, it smells nice, I'm just feeding that to my senses. But because it's Krishna conscious, it's good for the mind. And in that way, you have control over your mind. No? Does that make sense? Yeah. So just have prasadam. That's the thing. You have to make the environment for ourselves, you know. The point is, we should be making a Krishna conscious environment for ourselves. That our senses just get fed Krishna conscious things. Because if you get tempted, for example, if you are surrounded by alcoholics, you'll probably be the next alcoholic. Because that's your environment. No? There's a saying, if you're surrounding yourself, if 5 people are billionaires and you join if you join them as a friendship group, you'll be the 6th. There's that saying. Because that's your environment. So if we create a Krishna conscious environment for ourselves, very likely, 100% of the time, we'll become Krishna conscious. Because that is all that the mind will be fed. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah? It's hard to do. You know, there's practicalities and things like that, you know. But that's the aim of what we have to do. We have to create a Krishna conscious environment for ourselves. Therefore, we come to the temple on Sundays. Therefore, we make friends with devotees. Therefore, we just eat prasadam, you know. Therefore, if we want to listen to music, we listen to kirtan, you know. There's so many different genres of kirtan that you can listen to nowadays. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing, but it's Krishna conscious. Yeah? So, the aim of all of us is that we want to be the master of the senses. We want to be controlling the senses in the way that it cannot control us. There is a term, everyone heard the term Goswami, right? Goswami means master of the senses. Swami means master, Go means senses. All of us here are striving to be Goswami, because only by being a Goswami can you be Krishna conscious, because otherwise there's an obstacle. But what is happening in the world is that we're all becoming Godas, servant of the senses. We don't want to be the servant of the senses, we want to be the master. So that's the philosophical part of today's session. But now I want to go through a little bit something different. We mentioned Goswamis, no? But the only way to become a Goswami is to have some kind of physical example in front of us that we should learn from or follow in the same footsteps, or learn what they did to become a Goswami. So, if you see on our parampara, we have this line, reciproc succession. And at the very end, we have the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. The very famous saints that kind of the founders of this, main members of this Krishna conscious movement. A few weeks ago, it was the appearance day or disappearance day? Narottam Das Thakur. Appearance day. A few weeks ago, it was the appearance day of a very, very, very historic saint called Narottam Das Thakur, who is a great saint in our lineage, and actually was a key member that brought Krishna consciousness all over, around Bengal, and then, in turn from us, all over the world. And we were going to do a class on him so that we could learn about this. Because if we learn about the saints, then we can gain some inspiration. But I think we had some other programs. But I thought today, just to make it, we have a nice, small, cozy, cold Sunday, we can talk about some of the glories of really great devotees we can take inspiration from. So, everyone here knows Lord Chaitanya, no? Lord Chaitanya, who we have in many of our pictures, appeared 500 years ago in Bengal. He's none other than Krishna appeared 500 years ago. And Krishna came so that he could deliver all of the misfortunate souls in this world through the process of bhakti. For example, at the time, there was a lot of misinterpretation going on within the Vedic scriptures. People were using it for their own agenda. Everyone was going in different paths. There were different schools of thought. People were getting very philosophical, but never getting to the point. So Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya to kind of show as an example, as a devotee, how to do it. For example, when you go to school, when you're learning to do like handwriting, does your teacher just show you how to do it and then you do it? No. Sometimes the teacher will hold your hand with the pen inside and move your hand with it to show you. Give you a practical example. Let me show you how I do it, and then you can do. So in the same way, this is what Lord Chaitanya did. Because we need practical and we need theoretical, right? You can teach everything in theory, but without practical, you won't learn. So Lord Chaitanya came around 500 years ago, and he brought the Sankirtan movement. That means chanting, dancing, kirtan. And through his teachings, he taught the essence of all of the Vedic scriptures. Like I said, everyone was misinterpreting, going in different directions. No one was getting to the point. And the essence of all the Vedic scriptures is to know and love God. If you go to every religion in the world, the point of the entire religion is to know and love God. Right? Whatever religion you go to. So his main point was to bring that essence of all of the Vedic scriptures. And to do this, he employed many of his close associates. There were many. When God comes, he doesn't just come by himself, he brings his entire crew with him, you know. Like when an MP comes to a place, he doesn't just come by himself. He brings his entire, friend group with him, his employees, his associates. And many of these associates, they help him out. So Lord Chaitanya brought so many of his associates. If you see behind, we have at the shop the Panchatattva. Many of his associates, Lord Chaitanya in the middle. And then you see the Goswamis. They were many of his associates as well. And they helped him perform and preach the Sankirtan movement. So these 6 Goswamis, there are many Goswamis. The 6 Goswamis, there is Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Jiva Goswami. And one of his most closest confidential associates was another Goswami, or another devotee called Lokanath Goswami. And Lokanath Goswami is also a spiritual powerhouse of a devotee. Very pure devotee. Anyways, I'll backtrack a little. So when Lord Chaitanya was performing all of his pastimes, he would go all over India preaching Krishna consciousness. They would just do kirtan, and dancing kirtan through the streets. Anybody that would see the kirtan going on, they would join in. People would just see it, start chanting and dancing, and they would just become happy, Krishna conscious. So he went all over India. He went to South India, he went to North India, he went everywhere by foot with his party. And one day he went to this one place in the eastern part of India called Keturi. Now I think it's in Bangladesh, right? Keturi. And there's one river called Padmavati. And Lord Chaitanya went to bathe for one day. And when he bathed in this river, the devotees noticed that Lord Chaitanya, he kept exclaiming, Narottam, Narottam, Narottam. And the devotees were thinking, what's going on? Who's Narottam? There's no one here called Narottam. And he kept exclaiming, Narottam, Narottam, Narottam. And Lord Chaitanya was crying in ecstasy. And he exclaimed a prophecy. He's like, here, I am in this river, I am depositing my own love for Krishna. And one day, a very pure devotee called Narottam will come to this river, and I will give him my own love for Krishna. Now, to understand the gravity of this, Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, but he's in the mood of the greatest servant of Krishna. Who is the greatest servant of Krishna? Who? Radharani. Radharani is the consort of Krishna. But there's no single servant in the entire existence that is a greater devotee of Krishna than Radharani. So Lord Chaitanya a bit of context, Krishna as God, he has everyone serving him, right? So naturally, everyone else is serving God, and God is the one enjoying, right? But one day, he was noticing that for some reason, Radharani seems happier than me. This doesn't make sense. How can someone serving you be more happier than the person being served? So he didn't understand it. So then, Lord Krishna came as Srimati Radharani, came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Srimati Radharani as the greatest servant of Krishna, so that he could experience that bliss that comes from pure service. Make sense? So Lord Chaitanya comes as this. He has the most pure essence of all love for Krishna that can even be produced by anyone. And he's given it. He's saying, I'm going to give it to Narottam Das Thakur, this person. How fortunate can you be, you know? We are here trying to work hard to get some kind of love for Krishna. But Narottam Das Thakur is being given that most love that anybody can have. Can you understand the gravity of this? Then Lord Chaitanya, he says, I'm depositing my love here. And one day Narottam will come. Narottam has not actually appeared on the world yet. He's not born. After many years later, Lord Chaitanya, he disappears from the world. He finishes his pastimes on the material world. And then, many years later, Narottam Das Thakur, a baby is born. He is the prince of a kingdom in Ketari. The king of Ketari, his son is Narottam Das Thakur. And from the beginning of his life, there were symptoms that he was a pure devotee already. Like for example, 2 weeks ago we were reading Prabhupada Lilamrita at the end, after Prashadam, and we were talking about how pure devotees, from their childhood, you can notice small things that they have some devotional qualities about them. You know? Small things. For example, Srila Prabhupada, he set up a whole Rath Yatra for the kids. You know? Narottam Das Thakur, when they had, for babies, for many of you may know, babies, when they're born, after some time, there's a ceremony where they have their first grain, where they're first able to eat. You know? Until then, they're just having milk. So it's a celebration. It's a ceremony that they have their first grain. And at this ceremony, this huge, very kingly procession, very rich procession, where they're about to feed Narottam his first grains. For some reason, Narottam just wasn't accepting it. He kept crying and crying and crying, and they just couldn't feed him, even if they tried to force it. He wasn't accepting the rice. Or the sweet rice. And then the priest who was there facilitating the entire program, he asked, I don't know why this is happening, have you offered the sweet rice to Krishna first? Is it prashadam or is it just normal food? He said, oh no, we haven't offered it. He said, offer the food first. So then Narottam's mother went off and offered it to Krishna, the sweet rice. And as soon as they offered it to Narottam, he happily ate it without a fuss. So there were small things like this, you know, straight away, off the bat, that you can notice that Narottam was some kind of special, exalted devotee. When Narottam was growing up, he had the best education in the world. Actually, historically, if you look, Narottam Das Thakur, I think today you'd probably call it a photographic memory. But he had this quality about him that he could remember anything that was taught to him. Everything and anything. He could just recall it, you know. You know our format that we read the Gita from? You might think it's a kind of strange format, no? That first we read the Sanskrit, we read it a couple of times, and then everybody repeats, and then you try to repeat it. And then we read the translation, and then we do word for word. You know what this format is? This is the format they use in traditional schools. Because in traditional schools, everything was taught verbally. And if you were just told something, you'd remember it. So you do it a few times. But Narottam, you'd say this verse to him once, he'd remember it for the rest of his life. Word for word. Exact translation. So this was Narottam Das Thakur, his standard of education, his standard of learning. He was so smart. And when he was growing up in the kingdom, he had a very nice education. But there was and sometimes because he had such a nice education, he had such a nice environment around him, so much association. Sadhus and saints were coming from all across the country just to come to the kingdom to see, be fed, being taken care of. And there's one saint who was an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu his name was Krishna Das. And he would come every day to preach or just speak about Krishna or Lord Chaitanya. And every day he would come to the kingdom and with those who were interested, he would sit and just talk about Krishna's glories. And Narottam, once he started sitting down in these, he got completely hooked. He would listen every single day. And because Narottam was the most interested person, Narottam would come every day and Krishna Das would come every single day. And Narottam, every single day, his love for Krishna would just increase and increase and increase. He would love hearing about Krishna. And especially he would love hearing about the stories of Lord Chaitanya. And when he was learning about Lord Chaitanya, eventually he became so lovingly emotional. And he would cry sometimes why he was not born a little earlier. Because if he was born a little bit earlier, he would be able to see those pastimes that Lord Chaitanya was performing. So, from hearing all the pastimes, he would just, sometimes he would just cry in separation. He just wanted to see Lord Chaitanya. He wished he was there. I think for some of us, we have the same kind of thing, but for Srila Prabhupada, we hear stories of Srila Prabhupada from the 60s, when all these crazy things happened, where the Krishna conscious movement was at like an all-time rise. And we just wish that, maybe I wish I could be there, So anyways, Narottam Das Thakur, he was so much in loving separation of Lord Chaitanya. And he just had no interest for anything worldly at that point. Nothing else. His only aspiration was that he could serve devotees and hear about Lord Chaitanya. That was his only aspiration. One day, Lord Nityananda, the associate of Lord Chaitanya, who is in the blue in the Panchatattva picture, he came in Narottam's dream one night. And he said, Narottam, go to the Padmavati river. There is someone waiting for you there. And eventually Narottam just escaped and went to the Padmavati river to see what was there. And there he met, this is after Lord Chaitanya disappeared from the world, Lord Chaitanya was standing there, waiting for Narottam. And because Narottam wanted to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after so long, can you imagine? After months, years of just hearing about Lord Chaitanya, wishing that he could meet him. And Lord Chaitanya was there at the Padmavati river. And long story short, Lord Chaitanya embraced Narottam Das Thakur. And after that, after a few hours, people in the kingdom, his mother and father, noticed Narottam was gone. And there was a huge search party that the prince is gone. So they went searching for Narottam Das Thakur and they found him at the bank of Padmavati river in complete ecstasy. He was crying just on the bank of the Padmavati river. And they asked Narottam, what's wrong? He didn't look like Narottam anymore. Narottam Das Thakur, before, his skin was quite dark in complexion. But for some reason, they all noticed, Narottam, your skin is golden. You're glowing. What happened? And Narottam just couldn't speak. He was in so much ecstasy that he met Lord Chaitanya, and he embraced Lord Chaitanya. And they just didn't think anything of it, and they just took him back to the palace after some time. This was a turning point for Narottam Das Thakur. After this, bearing in mind, he has been given the love that Lord Chaitanya has for Krishna. He could not think of anything else but Krishna. Anything else, he just couldn't, even if he tried, he couldn't think of anything else for Krishna. He would go in ecstasy, he'd cry, he'd roll on the ground. He went, we use the word mad. Mad is seen as like crazy. But he was mad in love for Krishna. He couldn't think of anything else. Completely, it's something that we don't see. When we think mad or insane, we think something negative, that they're just a crazy person. But this Narottam Das Thakur was crazy for Krishna. And eventually, his parents, because he was the next in line to be prince. He was the only heir of the kingdom, actually. So it was him to be the next king. So the parents were thinking, well, we need to train him up to be the next king. That's why they're giving him such a nice education. All of this Krishna conscious, bhakti, shakti, whatever, it's not going to help him out so much. He needs to be here. But Narottam Das Thakur couldn't take his mind off Krishna. He didn't have any desire for any of the riches or any management. He didn't have any desire to manage this kingdom. He just wanted to go and see Krishna. Then what happened, after days of just crying in separation, he was actually locked in his room because he went mad for Krishna. So his parents just thought, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So they thought, okay, to keep him here, let's get him married off. Bearing in mind, I'll just say, Narottam Das Thakur was a teenager at this point. He was very young. They said, let's get him married. Then he'll be in family life. For those that know, I don't know yet, but family life can hold some hold on you. So this will hold him here. So then they set up for a marriage to happen soon. But until that could happen, Narottam said, no, I don't want any part of this. I want to go to Vrindavan. Now, actually what happened, Lord Chaitanya came in Narottam's dream after some time. And he said, you should go to Vrindavan. My devotees are waiting there for you. The 6 Goswamis that we have in the picture, they are waiting for you. You go and join them, learn from them. And there is one of my devotees called Lokanath. Lokanath, you should ask him to be your spiritual master, your guru. And you should take initiation from him and learn from him. So then Narottam was set. Lord Chaitanya had given him his order. But he was literally prisoned in his room. And there were maybe hundreds of guards watching the building so that Narottam would not escape. Because on multiple occasions he would try to escape. He'd jump out the window or try and go to Vrindavan. Vrindavan was around 1,000 kilometers away. And back then they didn't have any cars or trains or anything like that. But Narottam's love was so strong. He didn't know, he just wanted to go. Somehow, one day he escaped. Without the guards noticing. And he just ran into the forest. Complete, full speed. With just the clothes on his back and nothing to eat, he just ran. And he thought, okay, I will run to Vrindavan this way. I'm leaving everything. I will not say bye to my parents or anything like that. I just have to go. Lord Chaitanya has given me this order. I have to go. Eventually, after a few days, the guards caught him. A group of at least around 20 to 50 guards. For this one, he's the prince of this kingdom, bearing in mind. So all of the finest detectives, finest trackers, finest everything, they went to find Narottam, and they found him. And they said, Narottam, Narottam was loved all over the kingdom. Everybody loved Narottam. They said, Narottam, your parents are worried for you. Everyone in the kingdom is counting on you to be the next king. to manage the kingdom. Please go back, they're waiting for you. Narottam did not want to hear any of it. So you would think, what would happen next? The gods would take him willingly or unwillingly, right? Narottam then spoke to the gods. He says, my friends, my love for Krishna is so strong, I cannot think of doing anything other than just going to Vrindavan and meeting with and serving the devotees of Krishna. If you go to the biography of Narottam Das Thakur, there's a huge speech that Narottam Das Thakur explains to these gods. By the end of this conversation, the gods were so moved by Narottam's words that they not only just let him go, they gave him some money for his travels as well. They just accepted. You have to do what you have to do. Here's some money, you go. Go and serve Krishna. So Narottam took the money, and by foot, from Ketari all the way to Vrindavan, he walked, village to village, in tattered, ripped clothes, not eating much at all. This prince of a kingdom walked, let go of all of his garments, all of his riches, and walked from Ketari to Vrindavan. And word was traveling across India. There's this boy, around 15 years old, and he's walking, this sadhu, this saintly boy, he's walking. And any village he would take camp in, all of the devotees, they'd hear about him, and they want to serve him, so they'd give him some prasadam. So, please come to my house, bless my home. And he walked. Eventually, Narottam Das Thakur got to Vrindavan. And there, he got to the Radha Damodar temple. Radha Damodar temple? Jiva Goswami. Yes. There he got to the Radha Damodar temple. So there's actually many pastimes in this. There's so much details, but we're just going to go through a little bit of it. Has anybody here heard of Narottam Das Thakur before this? Prabhuji has. Mataji. Okay. So everyone here basically has a fresh knowledge of Narottam Das Thakur. It's good. I think for future we're going to talk more about some saints of our Krishna conscious movement. It's so inspiring. Anyways, Narottam Das Thakur, he got to Vrindavan, finally. After years and years and years of dreaming about Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the playground of God. It is his home. And finally he's going to this holy place. And he can meet with the personal associates of Krishna himself, of Lord Chaitanya, the 6 Goswamis. And he's able to meet them and serve with them. So he gets to Vrindavan. He meets Jiva Goswami, one of the six Goswamis. And Jiva Goswami, he asked, who are you? He said, my name is Narottam. As soon as he said Narottam, Jiva Goswami's smile went huge across his face. He says, Narottam, we've been waiting for you. Because Lord Chaitanya had prophesied. So all of the devotees, all of Lord Chaitanya's devotees, they knew someone will come called Narottam, and he will bring Krishna consciousness all over the world. So we were waiting for you. Come, let me introduce you to everybody. And then Jiva Goswami took Narottam Das Thakur, and he met with all of the other devotees of Lord Chaitanya. And they all met with each other like they already met thousands of times. Like everybody already knew each other. Sometimes maybe you've experienced this. I know some devotees, they've said they've come to the temple for the first time, and they met people for the first time, yet they feel like they've known these people for years. This is the exact feeling that was there during this interaction. Narottam Das Thakur came, and they all accepted him like a brother, like a younger brother. And they all embraced, and they all met each other. And they said, how are you? How did you get here? They started exchanging. And then Narottam Das Thakur was introduced to Lokanath Goswami. This was the person who was going to be his guru. As soon as he saw Lokanath Goswami, he did full obeisances, flat on the ground. And he was weeping. Finally, I've met you, my Guru. And he asked him, will you please give me initiation? Please, could I be your disciple? Lokanath Goswami, bearing in mind, he's never accepted a disciple before. So he said no. But Narottam Das Thakur had come so long, and Lord Chaitanya had personally told him, you take initiation from Lokanath Goswami. He said, no. I am a very insignificant person. You are a prince. You are a manager, and you are the future king of a whole kingdom where so many people are relying on you. A king, as per proper tradition and as per proper societal structure, the king is a representative of God in society, because they act on behalf of God to manage the entirety of society. So you are the future king of Khetari. I am just an insignificant devotee trying to get some love for Krishna. I cannot initiate you. And plus even that, you've just said Lord Chaitanya has come in your dreams so many times. You've already met Lord Chaitanya. You've already met with him so many times, probably more than me. So you've already met God. You're actually greater devotee than me. How can I give you initiation? I am not qualified enough to give you initiation. I've also, since my own spiritual masters, Rupa, Sanatan, the heads of the 6 Goswamis, they had left the world at this time. They were no longer in Vrindavan anymore. So, already without my spiritual backing, I took a vow that I will never accept any disciple. Or even that, I will never accept anyone to take some service from me. So I've made this vow, I cannot give you initiation. So Narottam is thinking what to do now. But he could not see Lokanath Goswami as any other person than his own guru. So for now, he just let it slide. He said, maybe another time I'll ask him. So then what happened is Narottam Das Thakur was learning from all the Goswamis in Vrindavan. But he was searching for a chance to serve Lokanath Goswami. Every single chance he could get. But Lokanath Goswami wouldn't accept any service, no matter how much you would try. If you wanted to fan him, he wouldn't allow that. If you wanted to, give him a glass of water, he wouldn't allow that. He wouldn't accept any service from anybody. Any helping hand, he would not accept, because he thought, I am too unqualified. Everyone is greater than me. I should be serving them. So this was Lokanath Goswami's mood. But Narottam Das Thakur, wanting to get initiation from this devotee, he had to find some way. So he noticed Lokanath Goswami, every morning he had the same schedule. In the morning he would get up early morning, he would take bath in the Yamuna, and as per everyone, they would answer the calls of nature. Back then they didn't have any sewage or vent or these kinds of things, or toilets or anything like this. So it would be the natural process. So he would notice the natural place where there was a place where Lokanath Goswami would respond to the calls of nature in the mornings, without anybody there. So he thought to himself, he is not accepting any of my service. I will get up before Lokanath Goswami gets up, and I will clean this area before he goes to attend to his business. I will clean that place for him as best as I can. So every day before Lokanath Goswami would get up in the morning, he would clean that entire place where Lokanath Goswami would respond to the calls of nature. With his hands, he would clean. And for some reason, Lokanath Goswami was noticing, why is this place always clean? And if, in fact, it's not just clean, a nice fragrance is coming from this place. It's luxurious at some point, to some point. Why is it so clean? So he's getting confused. What's happening here? I'm not cleaning it. So then Lokanath Goswami, he thought, okay, let me get up even earlier in the morning. So he got up one morning, and Lokanath Goswami hid in a bush just on the side of this place to see who is cleaning from this place. And there he saw a shadow in the moonlight. It was Narottam Das Thakur. And with his own hands, he was cleaning this place. Can you imagine? Someone that would not accept any service, any menial small service from anybody, and this person is doing such indescribable service to try and please this person. Give them some, not so much, as least tension as possible. So at some point he started weeping, and he just was out of breath and couldn't think what's going on. He just jumped out of the bush and said, Narottam, what are you doing? How can you do this? I don't accept service from anybody, but you are a prince. You're the heir of a kingdom, and you're doing this? Narottam Das Thakur had his head down. He was embarrassed to be caught by Lokanath Goswami. Lokanath Goswami was asking, why? Why would you do this? Narottam had his head down and said, all of the riches and wealth that the kingly position has given, that I have, is worthless compared to the wealth of serving a pure devotee. It is worthless. This is the real wealth of my life, to serve a devotee and to serve you specifically. Can you imagine the level of deepness these devotees had? So then, after some time, Lokanath gave in, and he accepted Narottam Das Thakur as his only disciple. Now this relationship that Lokanath Goswami and Narottam Das Thakur had is a key relationship that we should look for in a relationship with a guru or a spiritual master. It is an example of how the attitude should be. For those that don't know, we don't have much time to go through all of Narottam Das Thakur's story, so we're just doing this story. Narottam Das Thakur, most of the bhajans, so we have kirtan, which is the Mahamantra, but there are also very saintly devotees. When their love is just overflowing, they write poems or songs that are glorifying Krishna or his devotees. Most of the songs that we sing within our school, they are actually, the author is Narottam Das Thakur. He has written probably one of the most bhajans in our movement. Actually, you might know one of them. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. This was written by Narottam Das Thakur. For who? Lokanath Goswami. This is because their relationship is the example of the purest level of a relationship between a guru and his disciple. That is why in every one of our temples we sing this song, written by Narottam Das Thakur, glorifying the guru. You can see in the last stanza it says, Lokanath Lokera Jivana. He uses Lokanath Goswami's name because he's addressing it to his guru. Of course, we address it to Srila Prabhupada because for most of us, the closest thing, we're not initiated by him yet, most of us, but he is the guru of all of ISKCON. He gave us Krishna consciousness. Because the Guru is given so much importance because they give you Krishna. This is an important thing. Nowadays, there is a huge kind of nowadays, last 100 years, you've probably seen there are so many people that come out, and you'll see, especially in India, so many people come out and they say, I'm the Guru, and then the devotees will treat them that they are God. That person is Guru and they are God. But that is not true. Guru and God are two separate things. Guru is never God. Guru is Guru. And God is God. But Guru gives you God. They give you access to Krishna. Without someone that gives you Krishna, how will you get Krishna? And because we have so much gratitude to that person for giving us the summum bonum, the topmost thing in our life, in existence, because that person has given us that, that is why we give Guru so much importance. Without Guru, you cannot get Krishna. So Narottam and Lokanath Goswami, they are the example of the purest level of relationship between Guru and disciple. And not just that, I would say even further, Narottam Das Thakur gave the example of the attitude of serving devotees. Not even just Guru. That doesn't mean just serve your Guru and that's it. Don't serve anyone else. I'll be mean to or every one of you because you're not my Guru. You know? Serving devotees. To the level that Narottam Das Thakur went to serve Lokanath Goswami. To that extreme, you know. There is one song I think we should sing. One of Narottam Das Thakur's, we'll do it today, now, that is glorifying the devotees. So this, if everyone, a bhajan is a kind of snapshot into the heart of a devotee, the author of the bhajan. So I think because Narottam Das Thakur is the example of how we treat devotees and how we see other devotees, all of you, how we can serve each other, to have that right vision, we can sing one of Narottam Das Thakur's songs where he glorifies the devotee. Mom, do you want to sing this? Vaishnava. Yeah, we'll do the translation. Can you get this up? This bhajan? Yeah, we'll do this thing. And we can all sing together. There's not much of us to hit today, so we can just do a nice bhajan together. You know this one? Okay. Does everybody feel like they know somewhat a little bit about Narottam Das Thakur now? A little bit? Yeah? Actually, he is, in his later part of his life, for our kirtan culture, he is the kind of the founder of our kirtan culture. You know, every 3 months in our temple we have a 4-hour kirtan. We have a kirtan festival, right? The first ever kirtan festival in history in the entire universe was set up by Narottam Das Thakur in Keturi, where they had hundreds of devotees. Hundreds of devotees from all over India, they came together to sing and chant for Krishna. That was the first ever kirtan festival. And Narottam Das Thakur set that up. Narottam Das Thakur ki. Translation. He's got my paper. Can everybody see? If you can't see, I'd suggest come a little bit closer to see the words. Okay. First, we'll read the Yeah. Okay. First, what we'll do, we'll read the translation. Then we can kind of sing with meaning. So this is Narottam Das Thakur. He is glorifying a Vaishnava. Vaishnava means devotee. And any devotee that is connected to Krishna, he's glorifying them. So Narottam Das Thakur sings, O Vaishnava Goswami, please be merciful to me now. There is no one except you who can purify the fallen souls. Where does anyone find such a merciful personality by whose mere audience all sins go far away? After bathing in the waters of the sacred Ganges many times, one becomes purified, but just by the sight of you, the fallen souls are purified. This is your great power. The holy name delivers one who has committed an offense to Lord Hari, but if one commits an offense to you, there is no means of deliverance. Your heart is always the resting place of Lord Govinda, and Lord Govinda says, the Vaishnavas are in my heart. I desire the dust of your holy feet in every birth I may take. Please consider Narottam as yours, and be kind upon me. Narottam Das Thakur ki jai.
एबारो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई एबारो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई पतित पावन तोमा दिन के होना पतित पावन तोमा बिना के होना जहारा निकाटे गेले पाप दूरे जाए हे मोना दयाला प्रभु के बाको थापा गंगार परशा होइले पश्चाते पावन दर्शने पवित्र करो এই তোমার हरि स्थाने अपराधे तारे हरि नाम तुम स्थाने अपराधे नाही परित्राण। तुम्हारा हृदय सदा गोविंद विश्राम। गोविंद को है ना मोरा वैष्णव परायण। प्रति जन्मे कोरी आशा चरणे रदूली। नरोत्तम कोरो दया अपनार बोली। एबारो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई। पतित पावन तोमा बिना के होना। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda Radhe. Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Narottam Das Thakur ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Today's our kirtan was this bhajan. Did you like this bhajan? Yeah. So we're going to go straight to our Narasimha prayers. So we can sit down and sing the Narasimha prayers.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Lad Tahire. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Shila Sankanakalaye Eto Nasimha Parato Nasimha Yatto Yatto Yamitato Nasimha Bahe Nasimo Ritaye Nasimo Narasingavadim Sharanam Prapade Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringa Galita Hiranyakashipu Tanuvringa Keshavadreta Narahare Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narasimhadev ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Mahaprasade Govinde, Nama Brahmani Vaishnave, Sarva Punyavitam Lajan, Vishwasona Vijayate, Sharyal Vidyajal, Jorindi Daigal, Jivi Fili Vishasagade, Taramati Javati, Lobumaya Sadurmati, Take Jitakatan Sansare, Krishna Baro Deoma, Gori Baya Jivajai, Sarpasadan Bililo Bai, Say Namrita Pao, Radha Krishna Gunagao, Premida Kushi Chaitanya Janimai Janitai, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Please give a big round of applause to Vihan. No help, full of confidence. He can't even read, so he just did it by heart. Thank you very much, Vihan. So, thank you again, Balram, for a wonderful class today. Did you all enjoy today's class today? Learn something new about our Vaishnava Acharyas? Narottam Das Thakur's appearance was about a month back, but we had some program in the temple, so we couldn't cover during his actual appearance day. So, but today, I hope you did learn something new about our Vaishnava Acharya. So, talking about Vaishnava Acharyas, one of the point Balram was mentioning about the devotee association. So, we have a very nice devotee association coming, and also in the song that we sang, it is said, when you meet a Vaishnava, somebody who has really given his life for the service of Krishna, just by taking his darshan, just seeing him, all our sins are eradicated. And we become purified. So one such devotee, His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Swami Maharaj, will be coming to Stoke on 19th December, which is Friday. So, I think no need to give introduction. He's a very well-known sannyasi, very young sannyasi. So he'll be here in Stoke on Friday, 19th December. The program will start at 7 o'clock. So please make nice arrangement that on that day if you are working, then please come right on time, take some extra time off, and come exactly at 7 o'clock, and then we can take the maximum association of Maharaj with us, on that day, 19th December. And then December is a month of Christmas, and after the Christmas, the whole world celebrates New Year. The 25. It feels like 25 just started few days back and 25 years over, and we'll be welcoming the year 2026. So, it is said, we should start our anything new with some nice spiritual beginning. So last year we did Kirtan on 1st January itself, but this year we'll be doing our New Year Kirtan on 3rd January, which is Saturday. So, if you are working on 1st, or, if you have, some other engagement on 1st January, then you can take rest. But on 3rd January, which is Saturday, we'll be having a Kirtan in the temple. We'll start at 4 o'clock in the evening, and we'll go till the late night. Actually, it's a 4-hour Kirtan, so 4 till 8, we'll have the Kirtan. But last year, I don't know, many of you have stayed back. There's something called after party. So, those who want to stay back, take prasadam and come back to the temple. And again, we'll have another session of Kirtan in the temple. But the main Kirtan will start in the evening from 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock. Then have prasadam for everyone. Many wonderful Kirtan singers will be there on that day. We are trying to encourage our local devotees, they can sing nicely. So the many local devotees will be coming, and they'll be from their heart, they'll be singing on that day. But before that, next week we'll be having a Gita Jayanti celebration, where we'll be reciting the whole Bhagavad-Gita start to finish. The program will start at again 12:30. 12 o'clock we'll start with the Guru Puja, and 12:30 we'll start with the Gita recitation. The whole Gita recitation takes about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. So there will be a little extended program next Sunday. But those who want to leave a bit early, there will be prasadam served at about 3 o'clock. But I wish all of you can stay back till right at the end of the program. Let Gita recitation finish, and then we can all take prasadam together. So next Sunday we'll be having Gita Jayanti celebration and full Gita recitation. And any devotees like to recite Bhagavad Gita either in English or Sanskrit, Some of the chapters have already been taken by some devotees, but if you want to recite any chapter, we can tell you which chapter you can recite, and you can recite the chapter on that day in the temple. So these are the festivities coming on our way, and now let's go upstairs and take prasadam. Yes, beta. Oh yes, today after the prasadam, we'll be reading Prabhupada Lilamrit. Prabhupada Lilamrit is the Prabhupada's biography. How Prabhupada, grew up and become a person that he is, revered all over the world. So we are reading his biography called Prabhupada Lilamrit. So after the prasadam, we'll be all meeting in the temple and be reading about half an hour, from his book called Prabhupada Lilamrit. So please do come. It is open for anybody who is available in the temple. Hare Krishna. Okay. This is something we should all do. It's a very nice activity to do. I know if many of you know one devotee, Balram's very good friend Dhruv, who lives in Manchester. Recently he was doing Mangalarti in the Radha Landaneshwar temple early in the morning. And suddenly, he had a little brain hemorrhage just while, he was in the temple. And so miraculously, the ambulance was called in a good time, and all the treatment was given very nicely, and he's out of danger now, but still recovering, still in London. He's just 18 years old. Very wonderful devotee, very devoted. Is an ideal, child. How we, as a young man, and how we should take up Krishna consciousness. So looks like Radha Landaneshwar, he really saved him, with this, because it's a very serious kind of thing. Brain hemorrhage is, but everything is controlled now. He's out of danger and is recovering very well. So I request all of you to, please chant, one Hare Krishna Mahamantra together for a speedy recovery. And I think many find me knowing, he's a very nice Mridanga player. He came many times to our temple. So very soon he can come to our temple and be with us and play Mridanga again, in a Kirtan. Hopefully he'll be here in the 4-hour Kirtan on 3rd January. Okay, so let's close our eyes and in the prayerful mood, let's chant Hare Krishna together for the speedy recovery of Dhruv Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Please make your way upstairs for the prasadam.